This is my fully electric 2021 Kia Niro, and over the next few weeks I'll be driving it on a full lap of Australia, passing through some very remote places. The charging won't always be easy, but it should be one incredible journey.
Oh my god!
I was literally woken up a couple of minutes ago by like a clock bell tower thing that I guess chimes at 7 a.m. in town. It was quite loud, but that's about right. I need to be hitting the road. So I have really just thrown on clothes, not even wearing socks or anything. I just need to run this car down to the information centre and get it plugged into the Tesla charger. Get it charged up as much as I can. One thing I hadn't considered at all because of where I've been is it's 16 degrees right now. So I feel cold, but that's besides the point. The point is the battery in the car is probably cold. So we might be getting fairly slow speeds for a while until the battery gets warmed up by charging. But I'll walk back to the room and I slept really well there. The bed was decent despite being small and very clearly on wheels. It sort of rolled around every time I moved. That was fine, and the room was just very quiet. The blinds actually block it out. Like when I got woken up by the bells, I woke up and thought, it's pitch black, it's clearly the middle of the night. And then I looked at my phone and went, oh, it's 7 a.m. and opened the blind and went, oh, okay. Like it's not sunny, but sort of morning lightish. So I didn't think these were open to non-Teslas. But according to PlugShare, they are. And I don't think I'm realistic walking distance from any other DC chargers, so let's give them a go. No chargers. So that was a lie. Oh, that was so a lie. Oh, who put that on there? Always check information you read on PlugShare, because it's crowdsourced. And no offence to the general public, but they're very often wrong. So I'm now on 14% with a cold battery and no charger nearby. I mean, there's chargers in Goulburn, it's fine, but it's just going to take up a lot of extra time. So then there's a broken one, then there's this one at KFC, which I've used before, which really isn't very good, but anyway. It's a 75 kilowatt, but it's 75 kilowatts split between two plugs. So when someone else arrives, which is fairly likely here, you're only getting whatever half of 75 kilowatts is. And you're also at a KFC wandering around an industrial area.
Now, at this point in time, I actually heard from home that my cat was really quite sick and had to go to the vet. She's completely fine now, but from here on, the entire day really became a mission to get home as soon as possible. So I had to skip Canberra, and I didn't really film as much as I normally do, especially in the morning, but I think I did do a fairly good job of optimising the charging stops, so hopefully the video is still interesting enough.
It's now 8:07. I've made it to the ChargeFox proper DC charging station on the outer edge of Goulburn, and great, now an MG4's rolling up, so I'm going to get pretty bad speeds. But because the battery's cold, it's on 51 kilowatts right now, so instead of 70-ish, so it's not doing that great, but it should warm up as the charging continues, because charging a battery is really the sort of most intense thing you can do to it to make it heat up. So, but I'm only on 16% right now, so I need quite a bit more to make it anywhere else. I've just had a look at PlugShare, and based on chargers being down and stuff and wanting decent speed chargers, it's going to have to be, yes, Tarata, then Albury or somewhere near Albury, maybe Barnawartha, maybe Glen Rowan or something. The MG doesn't seem to have impacted me yet because my speed's being a bit slow because of the cold battery. Might be 2, although we're getting about 50 something kilowatts each, so that might be about the limit. He's on 67%, so it's like, why wouldn't you just go somewhere else? Anyway, I'm being rude again. I'm now actually getting 69 kilowatts, so the battery's clearly warmed up. I think I can even hear battery cooling running. MG's still only getting 49. This really might be maxing out the charger at this point. I'm just about to leave.
Oh, are you?
Don't worry.
Because we're in a super rush.
Yeah, it's okay. BYD pulled up and they needed the charger. They're asking the MG, who was on 80-something%, if he was going to leave, because he kind of should have. But I'm leaving anyway. I'm on 57%. I've got 209 kilometres of range. It's only 80 k's to Yass. And the charge had tapered. I was really just getting ready to leave at that point. I've now got 64% state of charge here, and the speed is obviously tapered. The next charging stop would be Tarata, which is 147 kilometres away, but there is only 2 chargers there and 1 is in use. And the station here is very busy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 cars charging here, including me. So going to a station with only 2 chargers available seems pretty risky. But the only other real option, well, I mean, there's other slower ones I can stop at, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. The only other option would be to push it all the way to Albury. And I've done that before, but you have to charge pretty deep, which takes a while. Yeah, it's 279 kilometres to Albury. So I think it's probably worth the risk to unplug now and go to Tarata. Just about to turn off to Tarata now, which I think is technically halfway between Melbourne and Sydney. Pretty close. Here we go. 2.8 kilometres away from the charger. I'm just concerned if there's going to be people there or not. There's one car there. There's a spot free. So I better be quick and take it before anyone else shows up. These units have been working very well for me on this trip. We're on 28%, and there we go. So from here I will either go to Glen Rowan would be ideal, but that might be a bit far to go without charging higher than 50, because I don't want to charge much higher than 50 because that's where it starts to taper. So I might be going to Barnawartha North, which is just on the other side of Albury, to do a bit of a quicker charge there as well. But it's good news here, getting 72 kilowatts and having a charger available. This Hyundai Kona is on 70%, so even if someone does come in here, it shouldn't be an issue. They should be leaving pretty soon, and really they would be more obliged to leave on 70% than I am on 29%. But if I could make it to Barnawartha North or something and someone else arrives, I would probably just unplug. Well, I had a look at PlugShare, and Barnawartha North has, I think, 2 fast chargers and then 2 50 kilowatt chargers. Both the fast ones are down, so it's really no point going there. So I've done a bit of a deep charge. Oh, it's just rammed down to 37 kilowatts now, not getting good speeds at all. But I'm up to 72%, so I can make it all the way to Glen Rowan. 217 kilometres to Glen Rowan. And also the orange MG4 driver who was overcharging in Goulburn is now here. When there's reasonably decent infrastructure like this, you really just want to charge until you taper and then move to the next one. But I guess he's taking a different approach. I'm 2 kilometres from the turn off to the service centre, Glen Rowan South Service Centre, to use the BP Pulse chargers there. These are traditionally sort of the final charges I use on a trip coming down the Hume Highway. So this might be my last charge, although I think I do usually end up having to sort of charge a bit high into the battery and end up with a bit slower speeds when I do this as the last charge, and I often end up with not really much spare power at all, like getting home on 2 to 0%. So I might look for another option as a final charge, but I definitely need to charge here. I've got 28 kilometres of estimated range remaining. The nice thing about this location is there is one on the other side of the highway as well. So if all of these were down or occupied or something, I can sort of cross the highway. It's not as convenient, but it can be done. I don't think I've ever seen this place in the light of day before, but there are, I think, 3 chargers on this side, and on the other side, but I should be good to get one. We have a newer Kia Niro, but that's it. Oh, there's only 2 actually. I think these chargers can do 2 cars at once fairly comfortably, but I'll definitely go on the other one so that there's no chance of sharing power until someone else arrives. I've got a text from them. I think it's a bit weird with how much they text you, BP Pulse. It's like it's just a fairly mundane thing, just charging, and they send me several text messages about it. But plugged in at 9%, so didn't have a lot left. Should hit full speed, yeah, 69ish. Yep, pretty good. I might do a fairly full charge here, or I might find one more charging spot before home. So I've decided the fastest way to get home would be to go via Yay. And, well, actually, driving home via Yay is like 1 or 2 minutes slower technically, but there is a Tesla supercharger in Yay that's open to all vehicles. So I think I'm down to 56 kilowatts now. Going there and plugging in for a little bit to then get home will probably be the best option. The other option would be to stop in Niro, but that seems to have had issues pretty much since I bought this car. It's had, like, some of the stations are working at reduced power and others just aren't working and stuff. I've tried once at Euroa and it wasn't that great, and since then I've avoided it, but I keep looking online and it always seems to have issues, so I'd rather avoid that. So I'm going to go onto Yay now, seeing as I'm up to 60% and the speed's ramped down to 56 kilowatts. I've got 211 kilometers of range. It's 150-ish to Yay, and then it's like 100 kilometers home. So just a brief chop up in Yay. Just coming into Yay now. I don't actually have the charger in the navigation, Google Maps, but I'm quite familiar with Yay, so I just sort of know where the charger is. Still got 69 kilometers of estimated range, and I haven't looked it up, but I know it's about 100 kilometers from here to home, so I'll need to charge a bit. Is there a UID seal here? Oh, this is a version 2 as well. Okay, version 2s can be. Anyway, the seal's on 2A, so I'll take 1A, and that should be fine as long as the cable reaches. I'm not at a version 4 charger. Gonna have to take 2 spots. There we go, ramping up. 82 kilometers to home, so I really don't need much, just a bit more and then some buffer, and then I'm good to go. It's finally time to go home. Can't really believe it. Made it home, finally. Today, I've done 685.8 kilometres, averaging 18.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres, so it might even be the most efficient day of the whole trip. And 7 hours, 14 minutes with the car on. I have 80 kilometres of estimated range left, and 23% state of charge left, but I don't really care about any of that now because I just have charging at home. And if we go up that one, accumulated info for the entire trip, minus about 200 kilometers because I didn't remember to reset this until about 200 kilometers into the trip. When I go through and edit the whole thing, I should be able to work out how many kilometers in I remembered to reset it. So then if I'm able to work out a true total kilometers, I'll put that on the screen somewhere here now. But the total, and we also have to add 10,000 to this because it sort of loops over. So the total would be 14,802.3. So about 15,000, pretty much spot on 15,000. And 19.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers average for the entire trip, and 32 minutes, but that loops as well, so we won't really know exactly what that was. And the car is now on 83,937 kilometers, and the next service is at 76. So that's not great. But it's booked in for Saturday now. It's booked in for next Friday, so it's going to be serviced, but it definitely way over. Anyway, that's that. That's the end of the trip. Overall, it was very good, but very exhausting. And unfortunately, I had to rush home a bit towards the end. But all good. I'm home now. And now I have this to contend with.
And jumping forward to the present day, I'm just in the process of editing the final day of the trip, and it's hard to believe, but it's kind of done. It's been an incredible journey driving right around Australia like that, seeing so much different scenery and a lot of different charges, and I've now spent several days a week for the last several months editing all of these videos. And that's been great too. I've kind of relived each day as I was editing it. But thank you so much to everyone who's followed along. I honestly didn't expect this series to be so popular, and an extra big thank you to everyone who bought me a virtual cup of coffee through Ko-Fi or PayPal or YouTube Super Thanks. Not necessary, but thanks so much to everyone who did. And it's kind of sad the trip's over. But I've got a few post-trip videos in the works. A lot of people have been interested in how much all the charging cost and everything, and my thoughts on how the whole trip went and all the charges and everything. So more videos to come there for sure. And then I'll be ready to start planning another big trip like this. So maybe let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions on where I should go next, and stay tuned for that. But for now, thanks for watching.